Hello, and today we have Tyler Ringwood of Charlotte. Tyler's a wide receiver that had near 400 yards and 5 touchdowns this season. He averaged near 16 yards per catch. And we'll jump right into the first question of what's the loudest place you've played at in your career?
Oh man, the loudest place that we've played is by far Clemson. Going in there at Death Valley, I see why they call it that. It's packed. I mean, you literally feel like you're just in a wave of orange, and they don't stop. They keep going, man. So that's by far the loudest stadium I've ever played in.
So the next question, what team is the best you've played, which probably would be Clemson. So besides Clemson, which team was the best last year?
Oh man, a good team that we played last year. I think when you look at a team, and you got to look at a team from a coach all the way down to his players, and I think the most well put together team we played against was App State. That game went all the way down to the wire for us, but that team they're well coached. They're really solid in their fundamentals. They got players all across the board, offense, defense, special teams. They're a well put together team, and on top of that, they have great coaches too. So I'll probably have to give it to App State.
All right, so a lot of people think there's a gap between the Power 5 and the Group of 5. How big do you think the gap is, or if there even is one?
I'm going to be honest with you. At the end of the day, I personally don't think there's a gap. I think at the end of the day, there's good players, there's average players, and there's bad players. And what you make yourself out to be is completely up to you, no matter what level you're at. Because at the end of the day, if you perform, you're going to perform. Obviously, for political reasons, and when it comes to getting looks from NFL scouts like that, it makes a difference. But you see players come from the Division III level and turn out to be better than some players that got drafted from Division I Power 5 schools. So it's all about the player and what you make out of it.
Yeah, I've asked a lot of Group of 5 players that, and they all say the same thing you say. It's all about the player, not really the conference they play in.
Yeah, 100%, man. It's definitely, like I said, it's all about what you do and the work you put in. And at the end of the day, you're either good enough or you're not. So.
All right, the next question is, do you think the college football playoff needs to be expanded?
That's a great question, man. I would say yes. I think if we can get a couple more games, and that would be major, considering we only have like a 12-game schedule. That's if we make it to a bowl game as well. So I think if we could expand it to like 15 games, get like a semi-final game and then like a conference championship game, that would be great. And then head into whatever your bowl games are. That would be pretty dope.
So you said you would want 15 games and yes, expand it, correct?
100%, yeah.
All right, so what is your favorite practice memory?
My favorite practice memory, there's so many of them, man. Coach Healy, he's done a great job of emphasizing us, make sure we have fun and stuff during practice. So we create new memories all the time. I would probably have to say my favorite practice memory would be, I think it would just be anytime somebody on offense scores a touchdown during practice. We're big on celebrating each other's success. So when somebody scores a touchdown, we all go down to the end zone. We celebrate. We end up doing an elaborate dance, an elaborate scheme, an elaborate joke. We end up doing something that's just off the wall, and it's different every time. So it's a new memory every time, but it's just great because you're just celebrating with your brothers. You're celebrating success, and it's just a great feeling, man.
All right, so there's a lot of debate in the air about the upcoming college football season. Do you think there will be a season, and do you think there will be fans?
From where we're moving, we're moving in. We're prepping and getting ready to start back up training soon, as if there's going to be a season. As far as fans, I think honestly that's just going to go from school to school. Each state has their different regulations with this whole COVID-19 thing. So I think most definitely we'll have a season. What it'll look like fan-wise, I'm not too really sure. I think that's kind of up in the air. I know we opened up with Tennessee this year, and they said they're having fans, so that'll be a nice start. They have one of the biggest stadiums in college football. So, but yeah, it'll definitely be interesting if we don't have fans. So,
all right. So, what is your favorite game memory?
My favorite game memory, I would have to say it was probably my game against University of Massachusetts, UMass, the year before last season, we played them and they got in. They laid into us pretty well. And this year we returned the favor. And in that game, that was my breakout game. I scored 2 touchdowns that game. Had about 80 yards. Made this really difficult post catch for a touchdown. And not only were those 2 touchdowns I scored in the game, but those were my first collegiate touchdowns I scored as well. So I think that's something I'll remember forever.
All right. So as a player, which the season might be played, might not be played. Do you have any fear of going back to practice with the virus or no?
Honestly, no. I've looked into me personally. I can't speak for everybody. I can't speak for my teammates or anybody else in this world. But me personally, I've taken the time to look into this virus and everything it entails, and it seems to be a relatively weak virus. And then on top of that, for people who are in better shape than the average person, like us football players, it seems as if like us, if we contract it, it's not something that really is detrimental to us. Considering we have such strong immune systems and we take such good care of our bodies, it's not something that will do too much harm to us. So it's not something that really worries me personally, to be honest. But like I said, I can't speak for everyone else.
All right, we got 2 more questions. And what team are you looking forward to play this year the most?
What team am I looking forward to? I think the 2 teams I'm looking forward to most is Tennessee, because like I said, they have just a great environment, a great stadium to play in. It's definitely fun playing there. We played them 2 years ago at their stadium. But the team I kind of want to get back at it and look forward to playing against is Florida Atlantic University in the Conference USA. The season before last, we beat them at their stadium. And then last season they came in and they laid into us pretty well. So it's kind of, I think, a little bit of a rivalry between us and them. So I think I would love to play them again and get a chance to go back at them.
All right, final question is, do you think the NCAA football series should return?
The NCAA football series? You mean the video game?
Yep. Should it return, and will it?
Yes. 110%. I would love for it to return, considering Madden irritates me almost day in and day out. I think it's a well-built game. As college players and stuff, you work so hard to get to this level. Even though they don't really put your name on there, it's you, So it's kind of dope seeing yourself and your stats and what game developers perceive your stats to be and stuff like that. Just like professional players do when they see themselves on Madden. So I hope it does. I've heard a lot of rumors recently about it coming back, so we can only keep our fingers crossed on that one, but I definitely think it should.
All right, man, that's it. Thank you a lot. This is Tyler Ringwood of Charlotte, wide receiver. Thank you.
Absolutely, man. Anytime, I'm sure a lot of my other teammates would enjoy getting on here and having a conversation with you guys, or even my coach as well. So it's always a pleasure, man. Thank you.